Kia ora tātou, I'm John, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my master's thesis. My research explores barriers to and opportunities for using a critical pedagogical approach in a transnational university in mainland China. In particular, I wanted to look at the possibilities for a critical approach to teaching English for academic purposes, EAP, in this context. Why? Well, the neoliberal university model seeks new markets, and one example of that is the explosion in the number of Western universities establishing transnational campuses in China. And with EAP, similarly, the need to support students in those transnational universities and elsewhere for whom English is not a first language has also grown. And so demand for EAP has increased significantly. So as standard bearers for the advance of neoliberalism in higher education, these two areas are important areas for critical pedagogues to understand. A case of know your enemy. So what did I do? I looked at a particular university, the University of Nottingham in Ningbo, China. First of all, using critical discourse analysis, I looked at the context through analysis of teaching materials from the EAP course, university strategy documents, and Chinese government legal and regulatory texts. I then set up interviews and group discussions with EAP tutors and students at the university. Data from these interviews and the group discussion was analysed using a combination of critical discourse analysis and Bakhtinian dialogism. This combination allowed me to focus on how identity is constructed in a reciprocal interaction between the social and the individual, and how individuals use and interact with socially available discourse frameworks. So what did I find? Well, the research found that significant barriers exist to both the institutionalization of critical pedagogy and its use in the EAP classroom, with only rare opportunities. The greatest barriers to critical EAP sit firmly outside the classroom. So firstly, the push to marketize higher education by developing academic products and services means that the curricular, assessment and teaching materials are standardized and prescribed by top-down autocratic systems of power and management. This severely limits the possibilities of tutors and students critically exploring issues together in the classroom. Secondly, tutors and students view the university as a themed transactional space where students can experience the other in a safe way. Tutors see their labour therefore as performative, presenting students with a facsimile of Western academia in an academic theme park. This positioning is required to maintain their role in the theme park, but the result is that the tutors are alienated from both their labour and the culture around them, including their own students. Thirdly, discourse is prevalent in China of familial and patriotic duty force students into an instrumental view of their education and reduce their willingness to experiment in the EAP classroom. So within the classroom also, one challenge was the adoption of adversarial Chinese and Western discoursal frameworks by students and tutors respectively, which further reduced the ability for genuine dialogue. This was one barrier that could potentially be overcome by teachers' self-reflective awareness of their own preconceptions and a better understanding of the discourses drawn on by their students. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening. Cheers. Bye-bye.